Let's people. Tina folks, we're live. And I know y'all know that gentleman right there. John's got a bad signal. So Mr. Eric Cagle, C&M Guide Service, he's coming on board with us tonight. You doing all right, Eric?
Oh yeah, man. What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing, buddy. Just enjoying the evening. You've been guiding every day and knocking your trips out and being back home before lunch, ain't you?
It's been pretty good, man. We've been picking scabs and busting slabs, baby.
I've been seeing it. About the time I get somewhere about 9 o'clock, I look and here's a tailgate at 9 o'clock. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
It's been good. I mean, it's just that time of the year. I mean, it's a it's a good early bite right now. I mean, if you're there at daylight, you can usually catch them. Daylight the first 2 hours, and then it kind of slacks off a little bit.
Y'all been catching some good fish. Ain't a bunch of babies.
Yeah, been I mostly got on Martin, Jordan, and Mitchell, and to be honest with you, man, I hadn't wanted to leave Lake Martin. I mean, we're just catching some big frame fish here. The size is up this year.
I've been watching them every morning. I've been watching them every morning. Like I said, I see you post them. You'll post them up, and 9 o'clock you done gone. So
we've been averaging anywhere. We've been averaging anywhere from 60 to 90 fish a trip. I mean, it's been really good. I think we had 76 this morning. I fished a little bit this way. If people come with me that have been with me before, a lot of them will tell me, hey, you fish with us, and if I fish with them, I'll let them keep over 60. But if I don't fish, then I pretty much cut it off at 60. But I fished a little bit. I fished for about 30 minutes with them this morning, and we ended up keeping 76. So it was a good day. I mean, hell, the last 2 months have been really good. I mean,
I know you catch them on plastic, Eric, mostly.
Yeah, I hadn't had a minnow on my boat in a long time. I mean,
good for you, man. That's awesome.
I mean, I'll take them for a tournament, but as far as guiding goes, Shane, I don't think I've had a minnow on my boat guiding in probably 3 years.
I hadn't seen you. I know you do win them tournaments just in case. I know you do.
That's right.
When's your next tournament, Eric? Somebody asked me that the other day.
I think I'm not fishing a lot of stuff this year. We're just fishing that elite trail and a couple more. I actually was fortunate enough a month or so ago to get to fish the Alabama trail, the tournament on Jordan, and that's only because it rained my guide trip out that I was able to hit that one. But I think the next elite tournament's the first week of September, so that's the next one we'll be fishing.
Okay.
And it's at Truman Lake in Clinton, Missouri.
I seen that. We got a few people on here. What's up, Chad, Ronnie, Tari from Rome, Georgia? We got a good little crowd on here.
Good deal.
30 people on here already. I want to give everybody a chance, Eric, to talk about. He just got him a new rig, an Avid 21XB, and he's got 2 boats he's trying to sell, guys. And nothing wrong with him. He got a deal with Avid. And he had to go with it, so he's got to move some boats. I'm gonna share some pictures. I'm
boat poor right now. I only got 3 of them.
Eric's got a marina at his house, but I'm gonna let you know pretty much. Now, what year is this Skeeter right here?
That's a 2021 Skeeter. It's got that Skeeter's got 340 hours on it, which ain't bad. I've had it for a little over 2 years. Still got a couple years warranty on the motor. So it's clean as you ever seen. That boat had a wrap on it. You can tell in the pictures.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I've been in that boat.
It's clean. But if anybody's looking for a good boat, I got that Skeeter that's a little cheaper, and then of course I got that Gator Tracks too that I'm about to let go of, bad as I hate to.
Right, I know. Yeah, well you just got that XB, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that Avid a shot. I can't. I mean, you know me. I can't speak on it because I hadn't really had it in rough water or anything like that. I've really only got two hours break in on it, so I really can't even tell you how I can tell you it handles good, but I really don't know how it even rides yet. But I did get a deal with Avid for a year, so we're gonna fish out of it for a year and see how we like it. I think I lost you, Shane.
There we go. There we
There
go.
we go.
I'm sorry, guys. So that's a 21 Skeeter, right, Eric?
Yeah, 21 Skeeter with a 250 show on it.
I got you. That's anybody can message me. I'll get you in touch with Eric. And hey, there's the boy. He don't want to sell, but he said he's going to.
I'm
Now
gonna
tell
tell
us a
you
little bit
now.
about that bad boy.
I've been doing this for a long time now. I've been in about every boat they make. Not everyone, but a lot of them. That Gator Trax is as good a riding boat, if not better, than any fiberglass boat I've ever been in. But it's 22 foot. It's got a 300 R Mercury on it. It'll scoot, but it's just a tank. I mean, it's a safe, stable, wide, sturdy boat, and it's got more storage and more front deck on it than any boat on the market.
Right. You need to do a walkthrough on that thing, because a lot of people they've never seen one, but it's for sale. So
that's right. If anybody's looking for a Gator Trax out there, or probably and I hate to say this because I'm in an Avid right now, but I mean that's the best aluminum boat that I've seen to this point.
Now, what's the wait time if you're trying to get a new one of them, Eric?
I think, man, I talked to Kent a couple of weeks ago, and I think they're about 11 to 12 months out. So
that's what I'm saying. So if somebody's hunting a Gator Trax, that one's ready to go. So.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. But anybody got any questions? Like I said, you can get in touch with me. I'll get in touch with Eric. But heck, you've been destroying fish down on the Coosa. I know that. I've been keeping up with you and everybody else on the planet. So.
Yeah, like I said, it's just, May is probably one of my favorite months to fish in Alabama. And,
me too.
I've said this before, and I still feel the same way. But my least favorite month to fish here is March.
Well, I know you told me you was going to stay over in Grenada next year.
Yeah,
you told me that.
I think I'm going to open another week or two up in Grenada for March of 24, and I'm still deciding what week. I think I'm going to open a week up after the tournament over there, which Patrick Stone and those my buddies over there, they guide, and right. they still catch big fish, after that tournament. I mean, that tournament don't bother those fish.
No,
they hide well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna open up a couple, at least one extra week over there in the spring, and for some trophy trips. So I'm gonna probably release those dates here in a week or two. I still haven't really, totally decided what days, but it's coming for sure.
Right. I guess you're booked till when, Eric? I mean, people ask me, I said, man, I don't know.
I got about 5 days left in November, and I think I got 4 days left in December for 23, and other than that, we're booking for 24. I mean, I've got a lot of 24s already booked. So
that's awesome.
I mean, I've been fortunate. I work hard at it, but I've been very fortunate that to put people on fish and they want to come back fishing with us. So I
know you do. It's you started Grenada when
I usually go over there. As far as the whole year goes, I'll go the last week of February and the first week of March, and then I come home and I go back over there about mid-June, and I stay through about the first week of September, and then I come on back home.
Look who says he needs a book a trip, Mr. Scott Williams. He said he needs a book a trip.
Oh, Scotty boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane. Scott don't need to book a trip. I already taught him how to cast to him.
He's been over there planting cotton. I've been keeping up with him.
Oh, yeah.
He posted something about dodging some killdeer eggs. And there's no way I would have seen that.
No, he got that old 22-foot Ranger redone, got him a 300 on it. He ain't taking it out but one time. I'm disappointed in him.
I see him. Well, I see him. He's just a laughing.
Oh, Scotty.
Let's see what Chris Collins. He's saying something. He said Eric gets done so early every day, so he can wait tables at Hooters during the lunch shift.
Hey. I was over rigging I was helping my buddies at Southern Light and Southern Motorsports with that boat. They were putting some lights on it, right. And I was down there pulling the paper and all off the fenders, and I saw the kid in there doing something, and I was like, "Hey man, don't do that. Let's put a bus bar in there." And Nelson, my buddy, the owner, comes out and he goes, man, you need to just come over here in the afternoons and work with us. And I said, well, how much you paying? And he told me, I said, hell, Nelson, I'll just have to run me one more trip in the afternoon one week.
Yeah. Hey, it's a blessing to get what you do get, because, but you're no different than a plumber or a surgeon or a air conditioning guy that sponsors us. You get paid for what you know.
That's right.
You worked on appliances before, That's what
right.
you done when I met you. So.
But no, that's it. I still, I said when I first started, if I stop enjoying it, then I'll stop doing it like anything else. And
That's
right. I enjoy it more now than ever, because most of these folks that come fishing with me now, I have a relationship with, and
right, you can cut up with them, and you built that following. I mean, you built that following, man. Yep. That's hey.
Really, just like now, it's like going fishing with your buddies, So it's right. And I still take new folks too, but a lot of my folks are repeat, folks now, and I like I said, I know them, so it's gotten more enjoyable over the last couple of years, for me as a guide. So it's
well, they know what to expect. They know, if they're casting with these fish, they've been casting a little bit on their own. They get with you, yep. A little better,
Yeah, it's made my life easier, because now, a lot of these folks have been with me so much. I pull up and put them on fish, and they catch them. I just sit back and have a good time watching, So
that's right.
It's definitely become more enjoyable, and not, that keeps you from anything you do. I don't care if you're playing golf, if you're fishing, if you're a janitor, it doesn't matter. Anything you do is easy to get burnt out on.
Yeah,
because it's repetitive over and over and over again. But that in itself, there, just the relationships I built with a lot of my folks, keeps me from getting burnt out.
Oh yeah, no. Byron Weiss he said he needs to book a trophy trip. You got your trophy trip full in February, March over in Grenada?
Except for that week, I'm gonna open back up. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna open 1 week over there. I'm just not sure. I think it's gonna be the week after the tournament. That Crappie Masters tournament in Grenada is always the second Friday and Saturday of the month. So whatever that falls on that following week, I'm gonna probably open up.
Okay, I got you. Well,
I need to book a trip with old Weiss over there in Florida. It looks like he tears them heads.
Oh, Seminole, I see him. He was messaging me about it. That was he catches them over there, son.
Oh, ain't no doubt. There's some pretty fish too.
Them big black fish. I seen a guy post something from Clark's Hill the other day. I guess they're still biting up there too.
Man, I actually spoke with a guy earlier that fishes Clark's Hill.
Right.
It's unbelievable what they caught in them tournaments over there this year.
They're like 70,000 acres there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How big is March? How big is
March? 44,000.
Oh my God! So it's almost twice as big.
It's huge. It's in Georgia and South Carolina, but the dang that lake, man. They're catching 17 and 18 pound blackfish stringers over there. I mean, that's
what I heard.
It's crazy. That's probably one of the best blackfish lakes in the country. I mean, and the other thing is that you got the Santee Cooper lakes over there too, not far from it.
Right.
And I mean, they're probably some of the best. I mean, South Carolina, man. I don't know why more tournament trails don't go to South Carolina, North Carolina. They got some of the best fishing in the country.
I've been seeing those shell crackers they've been posting from up there.
Man, my boy T.C. Lloyd over there.
I've seen those.
I talked to him about an hour ago. He's been busting them now.
I've seen 2-pounders they've been catching.
He caught 10 shell cracker ready, or whatever you want to call them. I call them shell cracker. He caught 10 shell cracker over 2 pounds in one trip 3 days ago.
I seen him posting some of those on his Facebook page.
Unbelievable. I've caught four 2-pound shell cracker in my life in 39 years, and he caught 10 in one trip over 2 pounds.
Well, I see them ones from Lake Havasu. I guess it's the same fish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. They're on another planet.
I'm going there before I die. I just don't know when.
I seen where Fishing Ken went from Texas. He went out there with his dad.
That's right.
I seen him post them. We've been on here.
That'd be a fun trip.
We're gonna go ahead and announce. We got a big announcement. Mr. Keith Cole sent me. Let me hide his comments. sent me the schedule for the Alabama Crappie Trail for 2023 to end this year in 24, and he gave permission for me and Eric to share it. I'm gonna share it right here. There it is, Alabama Crappie Trail. I sent it to Eric, so he's got it. He said he's gonna plan on fishing some.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna take a little break from the national stuff next year and fish some of this local stuff. And you know, since you brought that up, I'll throw this out.
Elaborate on it. Right, they can see.
Yeah, I'll throw this out there too. You know, Keith and them have done a better job with this trail than anybody before. I mean, they it takes a lot of time and effort to do what they've done with this Alabama Crappie Trail, and I'm excited. I mean, I think it's only going to grow. I mean, they're already averaging 20 to 30 boats a tournament.
Right.
I mean, they've had more, but I mean, that's around here. You know, where we're at in Alabama, that's unheard of. I mean, it's definitely growing, and they're getting more people out. But you know, hats off to Keith, and I know Wesley helps him out some too.
Oh yeah.
But hats off to those guys for what they've done. You know, for tournament crappie fishing here in Alabama. I'm thankful for it. I appreciate
me
what
too.
they do.
And I guess they're trying to model it after the Magnolia Crappie Club in Mississippi. It's very successful.
Yeah.
And then I think we got enough water here in Alabama, but y'all can see it's Neely Henry in November this year. Jordan in December. Eric said that's an excellent time to be down there.
It is.
Gunnersville, January. Bankhead Lake right here in my backyard, February the 10th. Weiss Lake in March. Looks like Pickwick and Wilson in April, and Alabama River Bridgeport Landing in May, which is an excellent time to be down there too. Then you got the state championships at Logan Martin at Lincoln Landing next year. So that's a great schedule. I'm sure he's gonna share it also, but
he picked a good time of the year to go, and that's a big part of planning tournaments is going to the places at the right time.
That's exactly right. I'm agreeing with you, man.
And it looks like Keith did his research, and Wesley, it looks like they did their research, and it looks like they hit it. They hit the nail on the head for sure.
Yeah. Tommy was asking me the other day, Eric, you need to make a video cleaning those bluegills. The way you do it.
Oh yeah.
You need it. You actually do.
I've actually gotten one on Facebook that I did about a year ago or 2 years ago.
I have to dig it up.
I'll send it to you. I've got it in my photos because a guy actually texted me about it a couple of days ago, and I went. Yeah,
I'll share that on my page, and stuff that people.
And it's I'm cleaning a crappie on the video, but it's the same thing. Yeah, I do it the same way.
I understand.
So as a bluegill, I call it a Cajun fillet just because my buddy from Louisiana taught me how to do it.
Right.
But John Fulmer, he thinks he's a Cajun. But hell, I had to teach him how to do it. I teach him how to do it, so he ain't no real Cajun.
I understand. Yeah, John, he's down there visiting a buddy. Somebody passed away. His uncle or his dad or granddad. He's got a bunch of equipment, so John's down there picking through it. So.
Yeah.
Let's see, man. I'm trying to see if we got any questions. Your boat, who's rigging your boat? We need to get a shout out to Steven, man, down there.
Yeah, man. Steven and those guys over at Wetumpka, man, I've used them since he opened. I mean, Steven and I've known Steven since we were in high school, and Steven was since we were in junior high school, but Steven was always that guy. And y'all all know him. I mean, y'all had him in school, but Stephen was always that guy that was either wiring a speaker system in a truck or rebuilding a motor. So Stephen's always been, mechanically inclined and really good with wiring. And man, some of the stuff that they do, over there when they're rigging your boat, they don't take any shortcuts. Every fitting they put on there is waterproof. Shrink wrap. I mean, they do it right. I mean,
that's Wetumpka Electronics, right, Eric?
Wetumpka Marine Electronics. I've been with them for a while, and I mean, when I want my boat rigged, I like to be there, and they probably don't like that, but I'm going to help out when I take mine over there, just because if I'm in a tournament, I want to know where everything's at. But man, those guys, if you're going to trust somebody to do it right, they're dang good at what they do.
Oh yeah, sure. I keep up with them on Facebook, man, and they do some clean installs, and that's a lot of people ask me, hey, where can I get this done? And
Oh yeah,
I try to send them down that way. Somebody was commenting, there's a guy in Jasper that's doing it also. Rich, he said Richardson Electronics in Jasper. That's up about 45 minutes north.
I think you got. I mean, you know, the crappie fishing world is small, but it's it's spread out. But
right.
You know, Lamar Bunning and Gene Newmeyer, they do some installs in Arkansas over there, and you know, if you're in the Arkansas area, you got somebody there, and if you're anywhere close to here, you know, Wetumpka's here, and there's several guys that do it. I'm one of those guys who I can speak for Wetumpka because I've seen their work, you know.
Right.
And I've seen Lamar and them's work too on several boats, so I know they do a good job. But I can speak for those two, but I haven't experienced the rest of them.
So the two boats you're selling, they rig them all out for you. So.
Yeah, I mean those two boats I'm selling are rigged exactly like the one I just got. They
got sea clear harnesses, all that good stuff.
Sea clear. They got lithium batteries throughout. I mean they're rigged. I mean I'm fishing out of the Gator. I got a 3-person trip in the morning. I'm fishing out of the Gator tracks in the morning.
Right, and the Skeeter. I remember when you had a warranty issue with your other boat. You know, one of them you had to go back and get some marks put on it. And you fished out of Skeeter, so.
Yeah, that's right. I mean they've all been well maintained. I mean I try to.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's my office, so I have to keep it functional.
That's exactly right. For those of y'all just tuning in, Eric's got a 21 Skeeter for sale. And what model is this Gator track?
That's a 22-foot strike series.
What is it? It's a 2022, isn't it?
That's a 22 Gator tracks. That's right.
22. That's right. With a $300, guys.
That's right.
Message me or Eric. And, he's trying to sell both those boats. He's got a new Avid in, and he's got to deal with them, and he had to go with it. So he's gonna have to sell both of those boats.
I might cry when they leave, but I got to do it.
You got a big old garage full of them now.
ain't no doubt.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Good Lord's taking care of it. Hey, them fish, you know, it's funny. I'm sure when you were working on appliances, you wasn't thinking, man, I'm gonna be making a living with them fish one day. You don't ever know.
You're right. I mean, it's kind of funny how it works out, because I mean, that's always what I wanted to do. But you know, I've had a lot of guys over the years, especially the last few years, you know, since Live Scope's out, you know, it's easier to guide with Live Scope. I mean,
that's 100%.
When I started, it wasn't that easy. I mean, you had to guess and hear what those fish were doing instead of seeing them. But I've had a lot of guys ask me, you know, or ask me a few questions about, well, man, you know, how'd you start, or you know, just different questions on guiding and stuff. And you know, I want to be a full-time guide, and that's what I told them. You know, I had 2 jobs for a long time. I mean, I remember.
I met you. You was still doing appliances when I met you.
Yeah, when you first started fishing with me, Shane, back then, I was still doing appliance work in the afternoons.
Right, I remember.
What was that? 5 years ago?
Yep, it's been 5 years already. It's crazy.
Yep, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. You gotta build. It's like anything else. You gotta build a business. I mean, that's
you know, everybody don't really know, but I call Eric all the time when I'll see something on the water or something, and he's been doing it so long. I'm like, hey man, I'll say, what are these fish doing? He'll tell me why they're doing that. So, because he's been keeping up with them so long, so it's just reassurance on my end that those fish ain't just doing it for the heck of it. You know, they're actually, it's a pattern. So,
yeah, and they you know, I was thinking about this. I don't know why. I was thinking about it earlier. You know, and I'm speaking about blackfish here locally, and
right.
You know, mostly when I speak, most of the time I'm speaking about a blackfish, unless I say whitefish. But
right.
These blackfish, man, we could sit here and talk about seasonal patterns for 5 hours and what they should do and where they should be, and the water temperature is this, but you know, there's a lot of variables that affect that. This year where I'm at, it was rain.
I remember that.
The rain affected the spawn here. You know, it was a funky, weird spawn here, and that was all affected by how much rain we had. It wasn't the water temperature. It wasn't the warm nights, cold nights. It was rain. The rain affected the water level affected the spawn here this year. And you know, just as soon as you think you got these fish figured out, you don't. I mean, that's just
exactly. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm the same way. You know, for instance, I was throwing a bait and knew the fish were in the cover, and they were just really sidestepping my bait. I've seen them. You know, and I went to a bright color in that clear water like you showed me. You know what color I'm talking about?
oh yeah.
And they started swallowing the fish. I mean, I was like, what? Me and Big Daddy were fishing Sunday. I was like, you know, you'll never understand why they do stuff, but you just got to take it into, you know, in your notes. Hey,
yeah, and you know, and you can't, and I'm guilty of what I'm about to say, but you can't be complacent. I mean,
no.
I'm real bad about, you know, I've said this 100 times before, but I got about 4 colors in my boat.
That's right.
That's it. I mean, that's all I got. And when I go to Mississippi, I add a few more.
Right.
But you know, if I get complacent on color, this morning is a prime example. I had a pack of jigs from Thermocline. I've been using some Thermocline lures.
Right.
They got some little 175 minnow baits, and that's what I use mostly, a minnow shake bait.
Right.
Bobby Garland's got a baby shad. That's what I consider a minnow shake
right.
bait.
That's the profile anyway.
Yeah, but the profile I use is just I like a 175 is what I like. Right. And Thermocline makes a really good one. And I've been using a lot of those because they're the right profile and size that I like for these blackfish. But
right,
you know, this morning I had a pack of Thermoclines in the box in there, and I had 2 guys fishing, and they were casting to the same brush pile.
Uh-oh, I lost him, guys.
Hold on, you got me now.
Yeah,
I had two packs of jigs in there. One was like a gray with sparkle. One was, and the other guy had a monkey milk on. One guy broke off. I tied him another hook on, and I put a gray and sparkle on that bait. And I'm sitting there watching these fish while they're casting. You know, they're not watching it. I'm just making them cast to a spot. But I'm sitting there watching it on the live scope, and both of those baits are coming by the same fish, and every one of them fish would turn on that gray sparkle bait, and they wouldn't look at that monkey milk.
That's the thing. You know, there's some days, like you were saying, it don't really matter as long as you got the profile right. But that's sometimes it's the color. I mean, it's
Yep. But it's different every day, and like I said, if you get complacent, I mean, if there's fish there and they won't eat, you know, you need to at least try to change.
You're talking about a
little
bait
like
this
profile.
That's a little minnow profile, a little 1.75 inch and 3/4. You know, those blackfish, that's up their alley, ain't it? Now, you don't
that's
really.
That's my favorite.
The shad spawn don't really. Is it big on Martin? Is it like anywhere else, or just
not really, man. I've never.
So.
You know, to be honest with you, I've never really concentrated on the shad spawn. I've always, those fish, they're going to do about the same thing every year. This year, like I said, the flood affected them a little bit, and they were a little late this year. Right. But you know, I really don't think we had a really good spawn. I mean, a lot of those females that I was cleaning after the spawn still had, you know, they didn't drop all their eggs. They still had. I remember you saying
they were pretty full. Hopefully they got some out. So.
Well, there's plenty. Trust me, if there's one lake around here that's got plenty of fish, it's Lake Martin.
Yeah, you fishing? Hey, without giving too much away, you're fishing the main lake, creeks. What are you doing this time of year down there?
Man, I mean, Shane, to be honest with you, a little bit of everything. I mean, they fish everywhere. You can catch them in the creeks, on the main lake. You can catch them up the river. I mean, you can catch them everywhere up there right now.
Yeah, I knew you used to send me videos, and it's so funny. You know, I've got some comments on some of my stuff. They're like, my grandkids aren't going to have any fish to catch because of people like you. And I start laughing. I was like, just because you haven't caught it, you don't know how many fish are in that water.
Man, there's more fish. There's more fish in our lakes, and I'm not talking about just Martin, Jordan, Mitchell, Lay. There's more fish in our lakes now than I've ever seen.
I agree.
I will say this: I don't think the fish bite as well on our lakes as they used to. But I think, you know, and I'll say this: I think that's where a lot of folks get caught up at brush pile fishing. And I've told a lot of these older guys around here this.
You're right. You're exactly right.
That asked me. They got them a live scope, and now they can see the fish down there. and they think that they can make those fish bite.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And that's not happening, you know, and that they'll go up there. They'll go and sit on a brush pile for an hour and a half trying and catch 3 fish, and they won't leave because they see them. And in that hour and a half, I have taken my clients and hit 15 brush piles, and we caught 5 fish off 15 piles.
Well, you know, like you taught me, hey, you got some hot fish in there, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you got some active fish, and you might sit there for 20 minutes and get another one to bite. But I mean, by the time you do that, you could already be done hit another hole and caught 5 or 6 more and gone.
You got your little milk run. You know.
Yeah, and that I think it helps. That's always been my approach. I don't sit anywhere long. I think it helps your brush piles too. You're not sitting there educating those fish. You know, you pull up.
You know, if your boat gets too close and they get the shadow of your boat, they know you're there, and the surprise element's gone. You know.
That's right.
And a big fish, hey, you know, you taught me over in Grenada when I went over there fishing. Them fish were backdoored. You get within 50 foot, they was going out the back door because they already seen the long rods and the boats and the you know, they've been seeing them for all year. So
that's it. But no, that's a good tip for anybody that's listening or is going to watch this. That would be my tip to you if you're brush pile fishing. Don't sit on that brush pile. I mean, pull up there and catch what's biting. You know, another tip for you when you're brush pile fishing, work that. Don't work your bait down to that fish. Don't if those fish are at 8 feet deep,
go over
work that bait at 6 foot deep first and get the active fish to come to you. Then after you get the active fish that are going to come to you and bite, then let your bait down in there, and you won't spook those fish. You know, like you would if you just pulled one from out of the school.
You get to hitting that brush, and sometimes that's what it takes for them to bite. But like you said, you're coming over them fish, and you'll see them react coming out of there.
That's right.
That's the fish you want, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we pull up. If we pull up to a pile, and if I'm not throwing a buoy, if I'm looking at it with the live scope and telling them where to cast at, you know, if like I said, if those fish are 8 foot deep, the jigs that I use, a 16th falls about a foot a second.
Right.
I won't tell them to count to 8. I'll tell them to count to 6. You know, that keeps that jig above those fish.
Right.
And the first 4 or 5 casts are gonna catch a fish, and then after we throw a few times and don't catch a fish, then I'll tell them to go to 7 or 8 count. Then I'll go a little deeper. But we're always gonna catch those active fish first.
Yeah, that's and like you said, me and Big Daddy, we probably fished 40 brush piles Sunday. We were moving, you know. And, you know, we would if I give them a second, they get a looker, may catch one, and I'm moving. So
you let Big Daddy catch any fish, or
he caught some. He caught the first one right off the bat. I need to share that picture with guys. A lot of people you know, have seen it.
I think I saw that.
You may have. Yeah, I'm
He done tuned out on us, y'all. He'll be back.
There you go.
There he is.
Somebody said I had a little echo, and I don't want to mess that up. So let me see if I can share that picture, Eric.
I think I saw it was a big white crappie, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a big black one. We caught it.
We
caught it right at daylight. It was a main river. We just went out there and there it is. I'll see if I can add it on here. But yeah, it was a big old black crappie. It's one of the better photos. I knew it was going to be a good one when I snapped it. And I seen the fish come up off the stump. I knew it was going to be a big one. I said, "Ooh, that's a good fish." It's a 180 or something like that, Eric. It was a nice fish.
That's a good one.
That's it right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There he is with his overalls on.
Oh yeah, he was. We went straight to that fish at daylight, man, and that fish come off some root ball. I seen him lean back. I said, "That's going to be a good fish." So.
Big Daddy. He's done Big Daddy's done a lot for the outdoors down there, man. He's a heck of a representative for fishing and hunting down there in that area, man. He's done a lot for him down there. I got a lot of respect for Big Daddy.
You're right. He is into it. He stays in. Tim Pentecost said, "Hey, I seen where Tim he caught some fish up there at Wise today."
Oh yeah. Gerald, my buddy Gerald Overstreet, he's wearing them out on that river down there.
I seen him post some. Yesterday. Sure did.
He's had some good trips.
Yeah, he has. I think they caught 40 yesterday, maybe. I forget what he posted they had. So.
That's a heck of a trip on that river.
Oh yeah, that river, it changes like you and I discussed a bunch of times. That river fishing, it's different. That's basically
ain't no doubt.
Say, I went to Demopolis and went down there in a creek and they got a big shad spawn going on, and those fish will hit anything that looks like a crappie bait. I mean, it's they're not anything to them. They're just little eaters, 10, 11 inches, but they sure do eat. So
good eating, ain't no doubt.
Let's see what Bill. Go ahead, Eric.
I'll try to send you when we get off. I'll try to send you that video of cleaning those.
Clean those fish the way you do the what he's talking about, guys. He scales the fish like he used to cut his head and gut it, and he fillets it and cuts the rib cage out. So you got the meat and the tail. A lot of people I love eating the tails. I just hadn't fried it for a while.
That's right.
That's what he's talking about. He's gonna share the video with me. We'll put it on here.
My grandmother, when I was growing up, my granddad and dad used to catch brim all the time, and we'd scale them and she'd fry them whole, and that flavor with that skin on the fish just was always a favorite of mine. But doing them like that, it just reminds me of growing up.
Back memory. You're right. Oh yeah,
that's
my
right.
grandma threw a fit when I filleted fish. She would throw a fit.
That's right.
I mean, you throw half the fish away. That's all.
I had a guy that was funny. I was actually telling this story this morning, but I had a guy that wanted the backbones a couple of weeks ago out of his crappie that they was gonna cook the backbones, and after about the fourth one I cleaned for him up there, he picked that backbone up. He said, "Man, ain't no sense in taking them home. Ain't no meat on them."
Yeah, you still using that?
Changed his mind on them crappie backbone.
You're still using that Rapala R12, right? That HD?
Yeah. That's the fastest knife I've ever owned. I mean, I can walk through them with that thing. It's pretty quick.
I seen where Bubba come out with. Is it a new one they come out with?
I hadn't seen it.
Bubba come out with another one. It's I don't even know what the heck it is, but I know y'all ordered another blade for that thing. Wasn't Patrick telling me that when I was down at your place?
Yeah, here I actually use the blade that comes with it, the black blade. But in Grenada, on those bigger fish, we ordered those 11-inch Rapala blades, the big silver ones.
Right.
So, when I'm in Grenada, I use those big blades, and when I'm here, I just use those, the black blades that come with it.
Yeah, that's a Rapala HD. I know that you clean a lot of fish a year, so that knife's held up.
If it lasts me a year, it's a hell of a knife. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I know that's a Rapala HD R12.
Yes, I think it's a R12, Shane.
That's right, R12. I think you're right.
But it's been. I'm on my second one, and it's been a good. The only reason my first one broke is because the blade lock messed up on it, and I kind of tore it up when I was trying to fix it. But the motor on both of those knives were still going, and they come with two batteries. I cleaned 82 fish two days ago, and I cleaned 76 today on the same battery. I mean, on one battery. I mean, that's 150 fish on one battery.
Man.
Now you won't clean 150 Grenada fish on one battery.
No.
But these smaller fish here, you can clean over 100 fish on one battery. I mean, it's legit.
Well, that's a good tip for everybody. I've got a Bubba. The only reason I'm trying to kill it where I can go buy one of them R12.
Yeah.
And I hadn't killed it yet, but I don't clean near the fish Eric does. This guy's got Crappie Crane's got a question, Eric, and I know you can help him. For someone getting into tournaments, any advice for us to find bigger fish? that seems to be the hardest part when fishing new lakes. What do you suggest? Just
Man, turn and I don't want to be negative whatsoever. Tournament fishing has changed since I used to, since I started tournament fishing.
right.
Scott Williams was on here earlier. He and I have talked about it. Shane and I have talked about it. But
Right.
used to have to know how to break a lake down. Used to have to know how to use side imaging, down imaging. Used to have to know how to use this. Your head a little bit. You used to have an imagination to know, what's going on or where those fish were. Right. That's what I was a little bit better at. People like Scott, Billy Williams, Caps and Coleman, all those guys used this and side imaging and figured out where those bigger fish were just by imagination a lot of times and trial and error. Now, man, it's, you can take that live scope and just go spot hit. I mean, if I were going to tell somebody, how to tournament fish now, I would just say spot hit. Pick you eight spots on that lake, 8 areas where you think looks good, and go spend an hour with that live scope in each area. And I hate to say that because that's not really, fish. I mean, it is. I mean, that's just how it goes now. But man, you pick eight areas where you think those fish are. Pick some shallow, some deep, some mid range. And go spend 45 minutes to an hour in each of those areas. It's scanning as fast and as quick as you can. And whatever area, if you catch a 220 in 16 foot of water and you go somewhere else and you catch another 2-pounder in 16 foot of water, then you need to be fishing in 16 foot of water.
That's exactly right. I tell people all the time, a live scope's like spotlighting deer. I mean, back when I used to have a permit at my buddy's place. We spotlight deer on bean fields. You shine through there, there's deer there. You're hanging out. You're trying to shoot them, kill them, get them off the crop. If you shine that live scope and there's nothing there, you're moving on. I mean,
that's right.
A lot of time,
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, it helps, and I'm not down in live imaging.
No,
I love it. I mean, I've had a ball using it. I use it, almost every day. That's another thing that's cool. You can ask anybody that's fished me in the last 2 months. We have not used live scope here very much at all. I mean, we're fishing brush piles, and I'm pretty much giving them a spot to throw at on the bank. Hey, throw toward that pine tree or whatever.
You're just counting your bait down, like you said.
Yeah, now they're counting down and they're actually fishing. They're not sitting there staring at a screen. And man, it's fun both ways. I got people that come and we fish with that screen and they see that fish coming and they get all excited, and that's a lot of fun. I love watching it too.
Oh yeah.
But it's still a lot of fun not knowing what's coming.
Right.
Just fishing.
You're basically taking that live scope, pointing it in and say, hey, most of those fish are 6 to 8 foot deep. And you're just making them fire out there in the general area and go down to them.
Yeah, and I mean, I got a bunch of brush piles like in front of some piers and stuff like that we usually start on. And I don't even turn it on when we're there. I mean, I just tell them, hey, we're throwing right at that pier. If I got a landmark for them, I don't even, I may scan over and say, okay, they're 8 foot deep or whatever. But I mean, those folks never really even look at it. I mean, a lot of those guys, and I got people that come at certain times of the year, and all we do is live scope. Don't get me wrong, but this time of the year, I mean, we're pretty much just old school fishing. And that's a breath of fresh air for me too, because like I said, I enjoy both of them. I enjoy doing it all, but I still enjoy watching that line and that rod tip, not knowing when he's coming too.
Oh yeah. You're exactly right. A lot of, to be honest with you, in that water I'm fishing in Demopolis, there's so many fish in the water, so you can't see your jig anyway.
Yeah.
So you're coming through there. You don't need to see it. You just throw in there and let it get down in the top and working the bait. Like I said, you're seeing that line jump. So, you can't see your jig. So,
yeah.
That's the same way I'm sure some of the brush piles you are.
It's fun, man. I mean, like I said, both ways are fun, and I enjoy doing it all. I mean, as long as you catching them, it's a good time.
That's exactly right. I guess you're bite guiding 7 days a week now, aren't you? About this time of year.
Yeah, man. I've been real blessed with weather this spring. I mean, it's been, besides the flood we had back in March,
right.
April and May, I mean, I haven't really had to cancel any trips. I mean, knock on wood, we've been able to get, I think I'm on hell, Shane, I think today was 27, 28 days in a row. So, I mean, I'm on a month, about a month straight. So hopefully I can get these next 2 weeks out of the way, and then we're going on a little family vacation to Alaska.
And I'm gonna meet you in Grenada when you get back. So.
Yeah, that's right. You're there the first weekend when I get back.
That's exactly right. Yeah, sure.
That's that'll be a good time, man. I know you've seen that cabin.
Oh yeah,
Stephen built over there, but it's sweet.
Yeah, it's called the Slabbing Cabin, guy. What's Steve and Rudolph?
Stephen and Stacy Rudolph.
Stacy, that's right. They've got a place called a Slabbing Cabin. It's in Grenada, and I'm sure it's booked up. But he shared some videos of it, guys. We're gonna stay there in June, and I got it booked in July also. So it's called the Slabbing Cabin.
It's a cool place, and my camper that I stay in is actually right beside it.
Yeah, it's right there. It's in the same lot, right?
Yes, I mean it's right there. I mean it's all connected, really. But it, we cook and hey, we there's one thing we do over there. We don't always catch fish. We usually always catch fish, but we always gonna eat good.
I know when I went there, Hayden Jeffries was there, John Harrison was there, you were there, Patrick Stone, Carlos Willis was there. I don't know who else. There was a bunch of hammers in there. I mean, a bunch of them. It was a fun time.
we have a good time, man. There's a lot of good guys over there in Mississippi, man. They a lot of good folks there. I mean, just good people in general. I mean, not just fishermen, but just a lot of good people.
Oh, it's great conversation, the fellowship. Like I said, we get to cook. You got a nice place to stay. I got an education last year on them fish. It's totally different. It is. The fish look totally different on the live scope.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all a funny story. I went in an area on a ledge where Eric told me to go. He said, "Hey man, just run out there." And I went and looked, and I went up through there, and me and Billy Canada, and I caught a 15-inch crappie, which is a nice crappie, and of course they got to be over 12 to keep them in Grenada. Y'all don't realize that, but there was a lot of fish going under my boat. I thought were carp, and we got to cooking that night. And Eric goes, "Hey Jones, you see any fish?" I said, "Man, I seen some fish." He said, "There's a lot of carp out there." And he said, "Did you see their tail?" I said, "Not really." He said, he started laughing. He said, "Man, you let a lot of fish go under your boat." I said, "Are you kidding me?" And I mean, then I got to see them the next day. I was like, because I let a lot of fish go on the boat. It was a learning thing, because Eric was like, "No, man." He said, "They're a total different profile." And I was like, "You're absolutely right."
Yeah, they look totally different from what we look at every day here. I mean, they ain't no, and see, that's another thing. And tournament fishing now, Hayden and I mean, there's a lot of those guys who have gotten really, really good at catching whitefish with a live scope. And I don't get to catch whitefish.
No.
I only get to catch whitefish when I'm in Grenada or if I'm at a tournament. So on a whitefish, those guys are. I mean, I'm not scared to admit it. I mean, I can still win a whitefish tournament if I get on the right fish, no doubt. But hell, I don't get to fish for them every day like they do.
No. In the way, Eric, those guys get consistently knowing what their behavior is that time of year. And, that's like the Demopolis.
Yeah,
they're mixed in down there where I am, but those whitefish set up totally different.
They do.
To me, that's like a total different species of crop. I know they're different, but
yeah, I mean, you just like our lakes here. Just for an example, what we're talking about, a blackfish in our lakes here in the I'm talking about Central Alabama when I say our lakes. In the summertime, those fish be 15 foot plus. Some of them be 15, but I'm talking about after July 4th, like in the show enough summer. When that water temperature gets above 85 degrees, our fish will go deeper, and they'll be there. You can see hundreds of them, but they will not eat. In August, in mid-August in Grenada, Mississippi, when I put my trolling motor down in the morning over there, the first fish I usually catch, or my client usually catches, is about 2 foot deep.
That's exactly right.
I mean, and the water temperature is the same.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
it's just a
It's crazy.
totally different deal. You know, it's just you got to leave about everything you know about blackfish fishing here when you go over there.
That's exactly right. Everybody over here is putting out night lights and fishing green lights and putting out lights in their boat. You know,
Yep.
trying to talk them into biting at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know.
Yep. And that's we've been. I got a few groups this week. A couple of those mornings this week where we've been done early. We've started 30 minutes or so before daylight and caught 20, 30 fish. On a couple of lights, but
you told me, yeah, you told me you did.
Yeah, the light bite's good right now. I mean, if you got a lake that's got black crappie on it, I've never been able to get whitefish congregated on a light, even on the river. You'll catch a few, but
I agree with you. It's Lay Lake's got some what they call green monster lights, what you're referring to. Logan Martin's got some. Lake Martin, of course, has some.
Yep.
I'm trying to talk Joe Allen. Let me put one off his pier down there.
I wish you need to. I mean, that light, those lights. In the really, we fish lights here. I'll start fishing lights at the end of February, 1st of March, and usually March is good until they spawn. After they spawn here, it kind of dies down. You'll catch fish, but they'll be small males, and after they recuperate from the spawn toward mid to the end of April, whenever they get back to those lights, they're kind of coming back from the spawn, and from then, whether it be mid-April or late April, pretty much through the 1st of June, night fish is pretty good. I mean, we're in the dead heat of it now. I wish every client I had would get here before daylight, but that just ain't gonna happen. But no, I love starting an hour or so before daylight.
Yeah, are you throwing that avocado and the black and chartreuse, and are you throwing still?
I throw if it's dark, I got a black chartreuse on. If it's cloudy, I got a black chartreuse on.
It's not like it's a secret.
We've been using the same jig for 30 years. I mean, it's I use two jigs. There's a guy in I'm pretty sure he's from Ohio. His name's Nate Bowman. Nate owns Nasty Nate's Baits. He's got a really good black chartreuse minnow bait out too. But Thermocline's been my go-to for the last 3 or 4 months. That's about all I've used. But Steve with Limits Tackle, Steve
I got some of his baits.
Steve, man, I'm not sponsored by Steve or anything like that, but I still order baits from Steve. I mean, we catch 50, 60 fish on one bait.
Yeah,
he just makes a tough bait.
Those Thermocline are the same, the same material.
Steve's baits. When you start talking about baits and toughness, if you get the bait too hard, you don't have any play in the tail.
Right.
If you get it too, if you get it too soft, then it tears on you. You can't catch but a couple fish on it. So there's a fine line there, but Thermocline is a little softer than Steve's bait, but man, they got a good action to them. But we've been catching 30 plus fish on a Thermocline, and Steve's bait you catch 50, 60 fish on.
Yeah, it's unreal. I got some on the rods over there. It's crazy, but I know you.
But they make some good baits.
I know you use some of those. What you use muddy water when you get over in Grenada, and then what?
We use a lot of muddy water. Thermocline again they got a big tadpole bait out too that I used last year. That's kind of how I got hooked. That's kind of how I got hooked up with those guys.
Okay.
I was using those big tadpole baits over there in Grenada, and got to talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, well, we make little baits too," and they made a 175 minnow, just like I use.
That's awesome.
So, yep, but yeah, they real quick, while we're talking about it. I don't know how many people know about that little company, Thermocline. They're out of Texas.
Hey, like I said, I'll try to put a link in here in the comments, Eric. I'll try to.
It's pretty neat, man.
If I can find it.
It's two kids that just graduated high school last year bought this company.
Really?
And they both work regular jobs, construction, and I don't know what the other kid. I mean, they both got a regular job. But one of them, Blake works construction. But yeah, they just came out of high school and invested in this company and bought it. And they're trying to sell baits. And the good thing about them is they listen. I mean, a guy like me that fishes every day, when I give them input, they listen. When I first started using their baits, they were too soft. Well, guess what? They changed it. They went from like I think it was like a 40-40 to a 60-40. I mean, they toughen those baits up, and man, they're a lot better now. I mean, they make a good bait. But I just thought it was kind of cool that two 19, 20-year-old kids bought a bait company and are working their butts off, at another job and doing that on the side and trying to make it. Man, that's how my daddy raised me. Go get it.
That's right. Well, nobody's gonna do the work for you. I mean, all them brush piles you fish, I didn't put them out.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I mean, that's it's thermalclinelures.com. I'm trying to put it in here.
Yeah, they got a 175 minute bait. They got a cool. You can see it on there. They got a really cool 2-inch. It's a 2-inch, which is perfect for blackfish too. But it's a tadpole.
Right.
It's a good looking bait. You'll like it if you look at it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can post it on here. Thermo. I'm gonna see if I can do it. That's what I'm doing.
All their baits. You've heard of Richard Malcolm over in Georgia, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Old jig slinger. So Richard makes slab slobber. The scent.
There you go. Yeah, I've seen that.
All of their baits are soaked in slab slobber. They already got scent on them.
Okay, I spelled it right, Eric. I got it on there. Thermocline
pretty neat
right there.
Yeah, but they're a cool little company, and I think it's a cool deal that you got two young guys trying to make it. I like that.
Well, I had a guy that fishes the ABT, the Alabama Bass Trail. He hit me up today about, sponsoring, him Bass Trail. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll sponsor a tournament for you. And that's what this stuff's for, Eric. You share information. I mean, this is what you do for a living, actually. You guide and crappie fish and tournament fish. And I do it for fun. And you help me a ton. And that's what I created this show for. John and I just to share all lures. Whoever backs Eric Cagle's who we're going to talk about on the show. So
I appreciate it, Shane. And I'm not one of those. I said it earlier, but I'm not one of those guys who's going to get on here and tell you, "Hey, this is the greatest thing ever that I hadn't used." You're just like that Avid boat I got right out here in this shop. I can't tell you nothing about it. I hadn't been in rough water with it.
Right.
I have not caught a crappie out of it yet.
I don't know. You just got it rigged out today, right?
Yeah, I mean it's just rigged. I can't tell you it's a great boat. I don't know.
I need to put these back on here while we're
There's one thing I pride myself in, if anything, and I'm gonna try something out, and if I tell you about it, it's an honest opinion, whether it be good or bad.
You're exactly right. So I mean, everybody, we got 63 people. Eric's selling his 2022 Gator Tracks with a 300R, and Eric's selling 21 Skeeter. What model is that, Eric? It's a 21, but what is it?
It's a ZXR 20.
ZXR 20 with a 250, right?
Yep.
Okay. He's selling both of those boats, guys. He got the Avid he's got in the garage out there. He just got it rigged up, and they've got some stuff. And Eric had to, he's gonna have to try it, so he's gonna have to sell a couple of his babies there.
That's right.
He don't want to do it, but hey.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Chad Selman, he would like to know how that Avid boat ride. He does, Eric. So when you get some time in and you get it broke in, you can let us know.
Yeah, the next time I get on here, I'll have a full report for y'all. I mean, and it'll be what I really think about it, whether it be good or bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you something, guys. Eric's not going to use or let somebody sponsor him or back him that. He's not going to do it. I mean, he just, he don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, if I couldn't, I've said this before, and let me preference this by saying, the sponsors that I do have, I really appreciate.
That's exactly.
I don't have to have them. I mean,
Amen.
if I don't believe in it, then I don't use it.
Well,
that's just the way it
there's
is.
some jig companies out there, and I'm not going to say anything. And everybody's asking me about them. I'm like, hey, man, you get a school fired up, and the bait tears in 2 fish. That's no good for me or the client or nothing. I don't care. You know exactly what I'm saying.
That's
I
right.
don't want to use a good bait. I want the client to keep catching. Once he gets that rhythm, his cadence down, I want him to keep throwing.
That's
I'm
right.
trying to put fish in the boat. So.
Yeah, man. We all need to be that way, Shane. We all need to be honest, and
That's exactly right.
Just because somebody gives a crappie or a bass guy 10% off a bait doesn't mean it's the best bait in the world.
Well, I think it's funny about sunglasses. They're like, you can see the live scope better through these sunglasses. Me and you've had this conversation. You're like, come on, man. They're just lenses. They're no different than a Maui Jim or a Coastar or a Waterland. I mean,
Just because you took a little bit of polarization out of a lens doesn't mean you see the live scope screen better. But I understand people trying to make a living. But
yes,
I also was raised to be honest, and
that's exactly right.
I try my best to be that way.
Me too. So, I mean, somebody asked me, off the record, I'll tell you anything. On this show, I'm not going to blast anybody's product.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, I'm not going to do that. You're welcome to message me or something, but heck, that's what I want to be honest on this show. It's just like Eric and I. Eric comes on here. You just gotta be honest. He's not trying to hide on what bait he's catching them on down there on the Coosa River. He's telling you, hey, this is what I'm using. This is what I'm fishing with. This is what I'm fishing in.
That's right.
That's
but
exactly
right. It's you're right. I mean, we all need to be honest, and if you don't believe in something, you can still be nice about it. And,
that's exactly right.
And move on.
Well, that's just like trucks. I mean, you drive a big 4-power truck. And there's Chevrolets and there's Dodges, and
That's right.
Hey man, I'm gonna run when I run, and just like boats and everything else,
That's it.
There's a lot of boats though that are made now, and it's sad that aren't up to par like they used to be, So they're just trying to put a boat out, and and just because some pro's in it, and you think, man, that's the boat I want, and that pro done turned 2 boats in. You don't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, whoa,
Well, hey, I can tell you this 21-foot XB Elite Avid out here is finna get put through the damn ringer, so I'll let you know.
Well, that's why you're in it, Eric. That's why y'all worked whatever y'all worked out. Put you in that boat. I want you to put it through its paces. Give me a feedback. Hey, what we need to change or whatever. That's why
That's it. Yeah, I mean, if it turns out where I don't like it, I won't be in it next year. That's just the way it is.
Hey, amen. That's the way it is, bud. That's the way it is. I got to thank a few sponsors there. We done been on here an hour, buddy. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, Shane. And
yeah, I'm on.
Tell John this ain't gonna be an every week occasion.
Yeah, tell him you can't sub for him. That's right. I'm gonna. I'll let you go, Eric. You can dip out, and I'm gonna thank some sponsors and get off here myself. So.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Shane.
Have a good one.
All right, buddy. I appreciate everybody staying on here. There's 62 people. I'm gonna thank. There's 65 people. I appreciate Eric coming on here, man. John had a bad service cell service where he was, and I text Eric, and there's like, yeah, man, I'll jump on there with you. So that's what we did. One call right here, Heating and Air, Steve, 10% discount when you mention CrappieKast. Alpha Plumbing, he's sponsoring the CrappieKast. He's actually sponsoring the tournament's going to be up here in February for Alabama Crappie Trails. You got Alabama Metal Roofing Supply. If you're redoing a deck, guys, a house, a barn, anything, Tommy Layton's been a big supporter of the CrappieKast. Man, give him a call. Any questions you got, he'll help you out tremendously. Let me see who else I got to thank here. Oh. Mr. Ray Morris, Lake Sunset Cabin. He's got a place right there in Peckerwood Creek, guys. He's one of the sponsors. He's been on here a few months. I think he's going to do some guiding and putting people up next spring. So y'all be looking for that. But he's got a nice place right there, like an Airbnb you can rent right there in Peckerwood Creek on Lake. Nice guy, beautiful place to stay, Sunset. Lake Sunset Cabin is super nice, guys. I got to thank Mr. Taylor Ward. Taylor and Jessica Ward at CT Ward Power Sports. They're great to me every time I come in Camden. They're just genuine people. They sell Excel, Bay Pros, side console. They sell Hurricane deck boats, Godfrey pontoons. They're selling the heck out of those Hustler lawnmowers. Give them a call. They're right there in Camden, Alabama. Great supporter of the show. I see them every weekend when I'm down there. Let's make sure y'all ain't got any questions, guys. We can finish up, man. Eric was nice enough to come on here and give some tips. And that man, if y'all don't follow Eric Cagle on Facebook, he catches more fish than you've ever seen. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like I said, I'm usually stopping by the store getting some gas or coffee, and he's already got a limit on the tailgate. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, I want to thank Limits Tackle. I've got some new baits in, guys. I can attest to them. These are the 1.5 inch. Y'all didn't see that color, though, so y'all don't pay attention to that color right now. That's a split tail bait, toughest bait. That's an 1.5 inch bait. Excuse me. I've got some 2-inch baits also. They're somewhere around here. I'll pull them out. Steve's at Limits Tackle. Eric was saying thermocline lures. That's what he's using. Like I said, this shows to support everybody, guys. If you got a bait, I need to thank this fella here. Off 80 jigs. I haven't used these jigs. He sent them to me. I got them in the mail. I got several packs. I'll use them this weekend, and we'll thank him also. I don't really know his name. It's Extreme Muck Fisherman, but I really don't know his personal name. He just sent me some jigs, so I appreciate that, man. But I'm gonna get off here, guys. I'm gonna try to answer some of your questions here, and when we get off. But man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all showed out. There's 65 people on here. Been on here an hour. I want to thank Eric and John. I hope John and Jessica's doing fine. They're down there and they're picking over some old antiques and stuff at a buddy's house, and they don't have a service down there. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in to CrappieKast. Y'all give these sponsors a call. Like I said, Alpha Plumbing, one call, CT Ward Power Sports, Lake Sunset Cabin, and Alabama Metal Supplies, guys. Appreciate y'all, man. That's what makes this thing tick. And people like Eric and you guys that follow us and ask questions. Thank y'all a lot. We'll see y'all next Thursday. And I'll be messaging the people that won the Limits Tackle lures. We had 3 winners last week, and they've got their baits, and I think they ordered some baits from Steve. So we'll see y'all Thursday. Y'all take care.